Get in on the action this season with Underdog's Pick'em game. Select higher or lower between 2 and 8 players and compete for up to 325 times your entry. Use code DIRECTOR when signing up to receive up to $1,000 in bonus cash and a free pick. Go to Bolt Fam, it's the Director. Chargers fans, we have had an awesome week of Chargers storylines coming in, from the Chargers returning to San Diego to Philip Rivers retiring a Charger and all the juicy details of training camp. There are certain players that are really popping off right now. It's starting to look like we have another classic, Ortiz draft on our hands here. We got a lot to cover in today's episode, man. We are now just today 8 days away from the Chargers taking the field versus the Detroit Lions in the Hall of Fame game. Lots of stuff to cover, man. Lots of hype, and really not much more waiting to do as we get closer to the 2025 season. Let's get into it, man. It's going to be a fun episode. It's going to be emotional. We got Philip Rivers stuff to talk about too, but it should be a good one. Before we do kick things off, man, shout out to the sponsor, Underdog. Use code DIRECTOR to receive up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Newcomers, take advantage of the offer on screen. And don't look now, but we got some NFL stuff happening on Underdog all of a sudden. It feels like it's finally time. I got some offers on mine. I don't know about you guys. Sometimes it rotates in and out. You guys will see more consistent stuff when it comes to the NFL as we do get closer to kickoff. However, I do see some offers for the NFL already. You can start throwing down for the Chargers versus Chiefs in Sao Paulo coming up, in Brazil really soon. It's happening, man. We really are just around the corner from Chargers football. Before we do kick off, hit us up with a like and sub if you do enjoy this Chargers content. Small amount of time you guys take to like, sub, bell notification helps me out a lot. Let's get into it. Lights, camera, action.
Who's got it better than us?
Into the end zone, Charger fans are witnesses to history.
Chargers, electrifying recap, training camp, Philip Rivers, and much, much more. Let's jump into the big one, though, man. This is the first episode that we're running since the news had broke that Philip Rivers would be retiring a Charger and hanging up the cleats for good. And honestly, it was just a reminder of how special a quarterback, how special a person, a player that we had in the Chargers for years and years and years. And the way that they did it, man, so classy, so emotional, so, reminiscent of better times for me. I don't know about you guys. When I grew up in the Philip Rivers era, I was in, high school, age. And that's really when I first started getting into football, right? And when it came to which team I wanted to post my allegiance to, obviously connections to San Diego pushed me in the direction of the Chargers. But, man, there were certain players that defined the game for me. LaDainian Tomlinson, I had never seen a human being look that much like a superhero in my life, the way that he played football. Antonio Gates, as I got into football more, Junior Seau. But Philip Rivers, to me, man, this dude was really something to me. A hero, an idol, someone that I strive to be like. His personality, he reminds me so much of like Star-Lord or somebody from the South, he really does have the morals that I have tried to guide my life with. Whether or not Rivers had much to do with it or not, I'm just saying, like, I love the clean smack talk and the competitiveness and the leadership and the charisma. It was so easy to root for Philip Rivers and to follow his career and really become a big fan of not just him, the player, but him, the person, that he really did define the game for me. And so now finally hearing that Philip Rivers is retiring, I'm sure I'm representative of a lot of Chargers fans and saying thank you for all the incredible memories, for all the incredible, quips and personalities and quotes, obviously. There's so much to love about Philip Rivers. So you guys in the comments, I would highly recommend, please leave me some of your favorite Philip Rivers moments, whether it be a game, a moment in a game, a quote, off the field. Obviously, for me, honestly, seeing him in these pressers and seeing how much he loved the game of football and loved his teammates really does resonate with me, the human connection. And that was something they did great in these videos. Please go check out this video, too, if you haven't already on their socials. Very, very beautiful tribute to Philip Rivers. So we tip our hat to you, Philip Rivers. Thank you for all the beautiful years our Chargers quarterback. Let's move into, and one more for the big guy. Let's move into some Chargers news coming in from training camp and stuff to expect as we're getting closer to the Hall of Fame game. You guys are going to see a player on the screen right now by the name of Nyheim Hines. Now, a lot of us wondering what's going on with this signing. For one, Nyheim Hines hasn't played in a few years. I think that he's coming back from something. He's going to try and return to the NFL. And honestly, he was not a bad player in his time a few years ago. Very good receiving back, if I remember correctly. This is the kind of guy he wanted on third down. Great competition, for guys like Kamani Vidal, maybe Rocket Sanders. But the signing does point in the direction of something maybe a little bit more, not concerning, but a story that we do have to talk about a little more. And it's where is Najee Harris? Now, of course, if you guys did not know, and this is something that I labeled a hoax for the longest time, Najee Harris had a firework accident over the 4th of July weekend. Yeah, from what we understand, injured an eye. I think there may have been something else, but we know that for sure. And he is currently recovering. The last we heard from Jim Harbaugh, I think it was even yesterday, that he's progressing. He's trying to get back, but they don't know if he's going to be back for training camp. Earlier, when we heard rumors of Najee, it was that he's going to be back in time for the season. Things are looking good. Now we're not so sure what's happening. Not just because he hasn't made an appearance since the injury. I have not seen any evidence of him being even at the Bolt since then. But now we've made this signing, right? Which is definitely weird, considering what the Chargers had at running back previous, right? We have obviously Najee Harris, Omarion Hampton, who is looking insane, by the way. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. Rocket Sanders, Kamani Vidal. The running back room looked really, really full. Now bringing in Nyheim Hines, I should say. It makes me have a question mark somewhere in that depth, right? Is it Najee Harris? Is there a serious issue here where he's not going to be, at 100% coming into the season? Is it Kamani Vidal, which we've heard a lot of good things about? That would make sense considering the skill set of Nyheim Hines being this receiving back. We don't know. All I think is that this is a very peculiar signing. There's a lot of these all over the roster. Don't get me wrong. The Chargers are becoming known for doing this sort of thing. Tony Jefferson. I know Willie Snead is somewhere on the practice field right now, probably trying to earn a spot as one of those veteran, tryouts. And now Nyheim Hines. It's something that the Chargers just simply do. But it did make me pause for a second, think, what's going on with Najee Harris? Because there are some consequences to that if he does not return in time for the season, or if there's an issue with his return period. And we're going to keep a close eye on that, because the biggest person affected by that is going to be Omarion Hampton, who is going to have to take on a much larger workload. So we'll keep an eye on it. Next thing to keep an eye on too, man, is this, man. Dude, we're going to go through some highlights today. It's going to be fun. I've not seen everything. There's some stuff that just came out today. I've been very busy the past couple of days. So we're going to go over some fun stuff together. But some things I have seen that we will cover. Oronde Gadsden, man. Every year there's going to be a player that's really standing out in camp. And you're like, wow, especially players that we weren't really expecting. Now, there's a lot of love for Oronde Gadsden. Don't get me wrong. When he was drafted, there's a lot of Chargers that were very hyped about it. Dan Wolkenstein was jumping out of his seat, excited. That was one of his guys at tight end for good reason. The guy's very athletic, as you're seeing. Very big catch radius. He's got some smooth route running about him, but it's really starting to translate on the field. You'll see this. A couple of things in this particular clip right here. Justin Herbert targets him deep. Where is Oronde Gadsden? He's on the perimeter. That's very interesting. The Chargers are going to have to move some things around now that Mike Williams will not be available. Do we see some Gadsden on the outside? I don't know. This is something that we just talked about not too long ago, and now we're starting to see it in practice. Scratching my head in anticipation that it's something for real. That's pretty good. The speed obviously looks great. He's out there. I can't quite tell who's in coverage there. Everyone would say, it's versus third stringers. Dude, he is the third stringer. And he's going to start seeing a lot more reps with the ones, as we've seen in the last week or so. Him and Justin Herbert are just creating some chemistry right now, man. We may actually have something in Oronde Gadsden. There's a lot of optimism, a lot of fan praise. I will be the leader of the fan praise parade of like, oh my God, this guy's going to be crazy. And it's like, it's a lot of hype. But I will say this, that there's a lot of evidence and a lot of footage that we're seeing that does support an actual asset in Oronde Gadsden sooner rather than later. I had a lot of faith that he would become something, but it feels like he is something now, which is very, very exciting. A few days ago as well, before the Chargers took off to San Diego, we saw some pretty cool clips at the Bolt, right? And some of them revolving around certain players like Quentin Johnston. Quentin Johnston, man, everybody says this, and it bothers me to a point because, yes, you guys, there is a case to be made here. People will say that Quentin Johnston is going to be the off-season hero, right? Like, oh, man, he pops off in camp, but when it matters in an actual game, those drops start to rear their ugly head once again. And that can be the case, but it also is indicative of actual growth and improvement. And Quentin Johnston is among the best players in the offseason right now. Some people may be shocked to hear that, but he's got like 4 or 5 touchdowns in training camp so far. He's got some incredible catches. Some of them, I will say, look a little sketchy, like maybe we're catching with the helmet a little bit too much, we're body catching a little bit too much, but he's making those plays, and it does represent to me what Quentin Johnston is as a player a little bit. Like, he is continuing to improve, and he will make an impact this season, especially now that Mike Williams is out of the picture. But there's going to be some bad that comes with him that we kind of have to accept. And it's very similar to things like with other players in the past. There had been seasons where Keenan Allen had a hard time staying on the field. Certainly Mike Williams had an issue catching the football, not coming down with it, but injuring himself in the process. You know what I mean? We had running backs that were great, but also maybe some injury problems or agility problems or vision problems. Everybody has some problems. Quentin Johnston's is maybe more frustrating than most because obviously big plays dropped don't feel acceptable in any which way. But he does have game. And there are things that he's going to bring to the offense this season. In training camp, we're seeing some incredible, clips of him, moving the football and scoring especially. He's got 5 touchdowns. Him and Justin Herbert are continuing to build chemistry. We need to root for this. Quentin Johnston and his ascension and being a good player is such a better circumstance than us looking for another answer at wide receiver midseason. And I'm hoping that this is the case. I really hope that QJ has found his stride. He's found his confidence. He's putting in the work. Nobody can say he's not. He's there first thing in the morning, last one to leave. He's on the jugs machine every single day. He is a hard-working human being. We have to hope that he's somewhat making a progress in putting behind him the drops. Okay? They're still concerning, but he's having himself a very strong off-season so far. What do we got next? Oh, yes. Okay, the man that I cannot wait to talk more about, Omarion Hampton. Now, first off, to close the book on what I was talking about before with Nyheim Hines, right? If that signing is indicative of Najee Harris's availability this season, the Omarion Hampton narrative could actually explode. And I'm going to say this off the bat, too. We want Najee on the field. Okay, Omarion Hampton, Najee on the field at the same time is very good news for winning football games. It's going to sustain the Chargers' ability to run the football at a very aggressive and high level without losing much of a step because both of these guys are very, very good. So first thing off the bat, no, we don't want Najee sidelined. We want him in the game. That being said, if Najee is not available, you are going to see a huge chunk of snaps of reps to Omarion Hampton this season. Unquestioned RB1 of the Chargers. He will be a third down back. He will be your power back. He will be your big play back. Keeping him on the field, even though that's a big part of his, strength throughout college, will be a little bit more concerning if he is the number one guy, right off the bat as a rookie. But there are reasons why he was my favorite player coming into the draft, man. At least, in terms of where the Chargers were drafting. Like I've said many, many times, I didn't think it was very likely the Chargers went running back early. It just felt like it didn't follow the pattern of what Ortiz did, what the Chargers were looking for. But when it actually happened, all of my dreams and visions have been coming true of Omarion Hampton being this face of the offense, and we're seeing that in training camp right now. This dude is everything as advertised. Of course, this little clip doesn't do everything justice. We might see a few more by the tail end of the show, but his agility, his ability to carry his weight, which is something that you see in very good running backs like Derrick Henry and Nick Chubb and Jonathan Taylor. You're seeing that in Omarion Hampton. I would say it's very close to Jonathan Taylor, as a matter of fact. His ability to catch the football, his speed, his open field speed, his power, all of it really comes together as one of the best Chargers running back prospects we have ever had. And of course, there are guys that stand out that I'm not talking over. Of course, we're not talking over LaDainian Tomlinson or any of those guys. But Omarion Hampton is as good as it gets in terms of we may have something very, very special here. And in terms of what we're seeing in camp, yeah, he's dominating. Him and Rocket Sanders, we've been seeing a lot of clips from. We've been hearing a lot about Kamani Vidal. Things are looking good in the running back room for the Chargers, and that could really define this team going forward. What do we have next? Big play, Trey. Dude! This is such good news for Chargers fans that are worried, because I don't know why. There may be some forgetful fans, myself included sometimes. When you think about the Chargers wide receiver room, when we lost Mike Williams, I was pretty hurt by that, and also worried. That X-receiver role, which seemed pretty stable with Mike Williams there, now has some question marks behind it. Trey Harris is likely going to take on a bulk of that, which is good. That's a good thing. Chargers fans need to have faith that Trey Harris can handle it, even in his rookie season. And now that we're starting to see some examples of his skill set in training camp, I'm becoming more and more confident in his ability to carry the position for Justin Herbert. For one, and this is why we wanted to see him in training camp earlier rather than later. The chemistry with him and Justin Herbert is starting to appear. Like, we're really starting to see some connectivity here, some chemistry. But what he's starting to show in terms of route running, I think, is what's most shocking to me, because I knew he was going to be this big play guy. He's one of the best players in football last season and in college versus man coverage. He's got a very high, deep coverage grade. He's deep receiving grade, excuse me. He's a very, very good wide receiver to pair up with a quarterback like Justin Herbert. But now we see him out there on the field. Some of the things that he's doing in terms of route running, actually a bit reminiscent of Keenan Allen. I'm not the first person to say that. I've read that. I saw the clip and I was like, wow, that looked a little like Keenan. There's a couple of clips that we may run into here in just a minute. That really proves to me that we have something in Trey Harris, and we needed it. Right, we need the availability. Like I've said a long time, for a minute here, the newness coming in, the next generation of Chargers wide receivers, it feels like it's here. It feels like it's simmering a little bit, like we're finding the identity still. But Ladd McConkey, Trey Harris, this could be the new Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and supporting cast like Quentin Johnston, KLS, who we're going to talk about certainly. These are guys that I really do think are going to help elevate the whole offense, man. It's looking great. I'm very excited to see where Trey Harris is going. Of course, he got a bit of a late start due to the contract dispute, but now that he's there are some clips that look awesome, man. And that being said, we're going to go through a couple of accounts that have been posting some awesome clips. I've seen a handful of all of them from these accounts, but I've purposefully not looked beforehand of this video for some of them because I want to get a live reaction with you guys of some of the stuff that we're seeing at camp, especially stuff that has been released today. I'm not sure which day it is. I know it's the last day in San Diego for the Chargers, but very, very exciting sights and sounds from Chargers training camp. First off, we have Fernando Ramirez. Shout out to these guys, man. Please, if you're looking for Chargers live coverage, if you're looking for, clips from training camp, please go give all of these guys a follow, because this is where all of the juicy content is coming in, right? And we're just going to kind of enjoy these together, me and on the channel with you guys, and see some of the stuff that the Chargers have going on. Sanjay Lal working with Ladd McConkey. I do remember reading some stuff about Sanjay Lal and his confidence in Quentin Johnston and the kind of work that they're putting in. We're very lucky to have Sanjay Lal on the staff. That's all I'm going to say. The man behind DK Metcalf. So some nice workouts there. Day 6, they're at USD. Or I should say University of San Diego. Let's see, what are some more clips? Oh, this was insane, dude. I posted this on my Twitter as well. The Chargers playing, touch football with the military and their services out there. Are these helicarriers, or this is on the outside? This is on the neck with the battleships in the background. Oh, just so cool. Like, this is one of those things that you I feel like you see these in movies. Like this is like a Top Gun, moment or whatever. Very cool to see the Chargers in San Diego, man. That's all I'm going to say. And I hope fans, there's always going to be this disconnect. There's always going to be this hurt, from the actions that took place, in between San Diego and Los Angeles and all that. But, I appreciate Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers trying to connect with the fan base in San Diego at some shape or level. It's been awesome. Continuing down here, some nice autograph moments down there. Here's one. This is the clip I was talking about. I did see this one. Look at the route running on Trey Harris. Oh my goodness. This is the one where I was like, hey, that's a little Keenan. Look at that. Yeah, that little juke right there. That feels like Keenan Allen right there a little bit. And that's maybe going to be a preview of how the Chargers decide to use Trey Harris in the season, because he's got some moves, man. He's looking awesome. He's looking very good. Here comes another one. Joe Alt to take a look at. This is him versus Khalil Mack. Oh, yeah, I did see this clip too, dude. How sick is that? We have ourselves one of the best right tackles in football. And I think one of the things that is indicative of that is the consistency that we're starting to now see in Joe Alt. He just took one from Khalil Mack. Epic stop right there. Look at him move Bud Dupree out of the way as well just a second later. Like, this is awesome. We have something very special in Joe Alt. Here's Khalil Mack mentoring. It looks like Daiyan Henley. Khalil Mack and what he brings to the locker room equally as important as what he brings to the field as a player. And you're going to see players improve around him like Kyle Kennard. There was one other guy that was starting to stand out. I forget his name. And of course, you got Bud Dupree and all these guys. That pass rusher, the entire room has benefited from Khalil Mack, which is why the Chargers wanted to re-sign him so badly. Some really funny stuff, too, from some of the press conferences later. Jim Harbaugh talking about Phillip Rivers and all that kind of stuff. Excellent right there. And then we're into the Phillip Rivers stuff here. So I think that's going to do it for Fernando Ramirez. Remember to go out there and follow him. Next up, we got Jason Delgado coming in here on Twitter, or X. Make sure you guys give them a follow. This is coming in fresh. Last day here, San Diego, and Derwin interception on Trey Lance is what we're looking at. Very cool. Of course, Derwin James. Unsurprising to see him have an awesome camp right up there in the Hail Mary drill. And there's Derwin James. Another Quentin Johnston touchdown. So I think this puts him up to 6. Look at that. Of course, it's not a full, a simulation of what you would actually see in game. You're going to see a lot more contact, maybe a lot easier for QJ to bring that in, but still good to see him catching footballs. Here's, what's his name? Steve-O Klotz, the tight end, who I think is going to be one to watch in these training camp, sessions here. He's one that I think is fighting for a roster spot. Nice catch for him over the middle of the field. Here's another big one. Is this the catch or is this a new catch? Oh, this is a new catch. Woo! Keandre Lambert-Smith. This is a growing player to watch in training camp right now. This is a player that's really starting to stand out in terms of his playmaking. There's another clip that we're going to catch later, hopefully, of him catching an incredible touchdown or first down or whatever, getting the 2 feet and tapping it in. Another incredible play right here. Keandre Lambert-Smith is really looking like an excellent deep threat for Justin Herbert. Look at that separation. Even though it was underthrown, I'm not sure if that was from Justin now. I'm starting to think that was from Trey Lance. Either way, incredible catch by KLS. We may actually have something in him this season, man. Looking very, very good. Here's Quentin Johnston again. This is from 57 minutes ago, folks. Nice catch with the hands, catch and run. Nice loop right there. Trey Harris once more. Offense looking nice, man. Trey Harris getting open in between those zones right there. That's what you want to see. Quentin Johnston once more. This looks like Justin Herbert at quarterback. You're starting to see some of that chemistry grow between them. Ladd McConkey. This is very cool, man. Thank you to Jason Delgado, man. This is a whole lot of awesome clips that I'm getting to see for the first time. Omarion Hampton, let's see him hit the hole and run. Oh, that's what I like to see, dude. And what I love about this clip is that, yeah, he hits it and he kicks it into second gear, but even when it's apparent that in a live football game there would be some contact, you just know that he's fighting for extra yards. I would say even in a live game day environment, that would be at least, a 15, 20-yard gain, if not more. Very, very cool. Herb to Rice, deep but no go. Okay. We're looking at Brendan Rice. And there's a drop right there. Brendan Rice still fighting for a spot on the team as well. Everybody very hopeful for him. Another KLS catch. Man, dude, the way that Keandre Lambert catches the football, who does he remind me of? He reminds me of somebody, dude. That separates, maybe a little Odell Beckham, not Odell. Who am I thinking of, man? He's got this really nice aggressiveness, very smooth at the catch point, coming down with it. I don't know, man. KLS reminds me of somebody that I'm very impressed with all of a sudden, man. He looks very, I'm going to have to think on that one. Maybe a little Stephon Diggs. Yeah, man, he's starting to look really, really good in training camp. Here's another Ladd McConkey, and this is all from today, man. I haven't seen any of these. Nyheim Hines, number 31 on offense. Some nice, dude, Hines, I see you. Competitors, welcome. Here's another Omarion Hampton. I'm going to blow this one up. So we can see it nicely. Omarion Hampton, you see the way he's holding the football right up the middle. Let's take a look at the blocks real quick on the replay. How's the blocking looking in the middle? It looks a little bit messy. I'm not going to lie. It is, not at full speed. Another Omarion Hampton right here tries to hit the outside and picks up 5 or 10. I like it. Omarion, I mean, if anything, you're seeing the speed on this guy. Herb DeConk, one more time over the middle. Oh, that's Conklin. That's Tyler Conklin, the new tight end. We got ourselves a nice tight end there. Another catch by Quentin Johnston. Yeah, dude, that's another nice hands catch right there. I don't know, man. Some nice stuff coming in. I think that was, because this is the Ozzy Osbourne stuff. Rest in peace, Ozzy. Stuff from just a few days ago, and yeah, I think we saw that one before there. So thank you so much, Jason Delgado. Some awesome clips right here. Let's go one or two more before we cut down the rest of the show here, man, because there's a whole lot of clips to go through. Chris Rim, the next account that we'll be taking a look at here. Some cool clips I think that I saw. Yes, here's the Nyheim Hines and Omarion Hampton, the running backs, getting some work out here. So Hines, number 31, to take a look. Hines looks really agile, by the way. That's something to maybe look forward to in terms of the competition. And it's starting to look like he does look like a competition for Kamani Vidal a little bit. There's some similarities there. Here goes Omarion Hampton. Some standard drills right there. Justin to Ladd McConkey. They're nice, again, passer drills there. Looks like a lot of drills. Let's see if there's anything from yesterday. Was this the same? Here's Keandre. Oh, this is the catch. This is the one I was talking about. Keandre Lambert Smith. Look at this catch, baby. Gets the toe down. I think that's Dean Leonard in coverage right there. Look at that catch, man. You guys got to help me in the comments. Who is he? Who is this guy? His catching looks very familiar to me. Is it Keenan? I can't quite tell. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. You guys got to help me out. And this dude, man, fast. He ran like a 4.38 or a 4.37. He's definitely bigger than you would expect. I think he's somewhere around 6'1", somewhere around there. Very, very surprising camp guy that we're seeing right. Him and Oronde Gadsden definitely are the guys that are standing out like, wow, we didn't see this coming. Let's see. We got was this that's Triquez Bridges, right? Triquez Bridges, right? We're starting to hear some from him as well. And that's got to be him. He looks huge. Bridges, 6'3", I think. He's got some nice mass to him as well. We've heard his name. I've at least read his name a few times, in covering camp, which is pretty cool. Summer of QJ continues, they say. Is this one of the catches we already saw? Yes. Very, very nice catch there. And some cool cat moments here. Thank you to Chris Remen. Let's do one more. And is it Tuk Ni Nguyen? I'm going to say. I've seen a lot of clips from this account, man. Very exciting stuff. So there's some standard drills here. Are there any plays to look into here? Linebackers in I love seeing him in San Diego, too, man. That is so cool. Cool for them. Justin Herbert to Quentin Johnston, the 22nd here. Nice comeback by QJ. Nice. And Omarion Hampton. We'll close it on that one. Omarion Hampton. Everybody in San Diego, too. Some very, very cool sights from training camp this last week. Some of the biggest standouts for me in looking at this stuff is Keandre Lambert Smith, Oronde Gadsden, and to really keep an eye on the Najee Harris thing, man. That Omarion Hampton may end up being something pretty big. I really hope none of my league mates are watching this right now, but I'm going to be gunning for Omarion in my drafts, dude, just because the potential there is so huge. But, it's going to be fun. The Chargers do return to the Bolt, I think, this weekend, where we're going to get closer and closer to the Hall of Fame game coming up, 8 days from now, so just about a week from the first Chargers action versus the Detroit Lions, which is going to be pretty sick, man. I'm very, very excited. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. This has been The Director. If you like what you saw here, hit us up with a like and sub on your way out. Please remember to leave your Philip Rivers favorite memories in the chat, your favorite things that you've seen from training camp so far, and help me out with the Condre Lambert-Smith comp. That catching looks so familiar to me. It's itching in the back of my brain. I would like to nail that down. Well, guys, thank you for joining me. We'll catch you next time. As always, bolt up and stay frosty. We see you.